Trim the fat, take the one business that has the greatest potential and increase the revenue so that you can have greater profit margins, because profits feed the family.
Hey, I want to talk to you about the secret ingredient in building an empire, and it's called the power of pricing. My name is Craig Ballantyne. I'm here with Bedros Keuilian, and this is the Empire Podcast Show. Bedros, you're a car lover. Let's talk about the prices of cars. What allows some companies to charge what seemingly outrageous amounts for cars, like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bugattis? How do they charge that while, Corvette is, 150 or something like that?
Sure. Well, it's funny because loving cars, I've learned very quickly that when you buy, and cars and watches, same thing. When a watch is over $1,000, it's no longer a watch, it's a timepiece, right? So a $10,000 Cartier, a $20,000 Omega, that's a timepiece. It's no longer a watch, because you're buying a lifestyle, is what you're saying. What they've done is they've taken that brand, whether it's a car or a watch, and they've tied it into a lifestyle and status. So Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Bugattis, Rolls-Royce. And I'll give you an example. The Rolls-Royce Ghost, which is a four-door sedan, sells for about $275,000. The BMW 760 series car sells for about $100,000. They are the exact same car. BMW owns Rolls-Royce. BMW took the 7 Series vehicle and they put lipstick on it and effectively made it the Rolls-Royce Ghost. The lipstick being the Rolls-Royce badge, right? And some leather and some fur on the seats and sparkly little stars in the ceiling. So why are they able to take the same car and sell it for $175,000 more? Because the Rolls-Royce brand is synonymous with the lifestyle, with prestige, with status, where BMW is synonymous with quality. BMW, Mercedes, quality. And then you go down lower to, you got the Honda, you got the Toyota, the Fords and Chevys. Well, it's good transportation. Takes you from reliable transportation. Odds are your Rolls-Royce, your BMWs, your higher-end cars are going to break down more because they're far more sophisticated. More things can go wrong with them. Yet we're willing to pay more for that status and sophistication simply because they've tied it into a lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what we want to talk to you about is premium pricing. Now, we don't want you to put lipstick on something. You are going to deliver, of course, a high value, high quality service. But what are a couple things that having a premium price allow you to do in dominating the marketplace?
Sure. Well, like in our world, for example, we sell our Fit Body Bootcamp franchise now for $30,000 buy-in fee. Really, across the franchise space, that's a pretty low price franchise, right? But in the fitness world, that's pretty high priced. And so one, I keep my prices high. Number two, we have a recurring income as well. We charge another $1,000 a month for our monthly franchise royalty fees. That money allows me to outmarket my competition. So when I started Fit Body Bootcamp, the brand, there was another brand out there of boot camps. They were out there 5 years before us, and they had about 300 locations. They were selling for $5,000 one time. I came into the market space at that time and I sold for $10,000 with a recurring monthly fee. That means that I sold for a higher price and I had recurring income coming in, which meant I can outmarket the other guy 10 to 1. I can be on 10 extra platforms. You would see my advertisement 10 more times than you would see his, right? Ultimately, we crushed him, put him out of business, and Fit Body Bootcamp grew. And so premium pricing allows you to have this room for not only additional marketing, but when we're selling our franchise, it takes 48 days to take a prospect and turn them into a franchisee. We send them so many things in the mail, from baseball bats, believe it or not, to wine, to exercise wristbands, to our newsletter. There's a lot of marketing that we do in between the time they've thought about opening up a Fit Body Bootcamp and actually making the decision to pay us. We can constantly follow up with them with a lot of goodies, from sunglasses to all these fun things, because we've worked that into our pricing model.
Now, you had a great mentor back when you were a young, struggling personal trainer, a guy named Jim Franco. What did Jim teach you about pricing?
Jim taught me something really important. He said, listen, people are not buying your time. They're buying an outcome from you. Now, as a personal trainer, I had to really realize, oh, wait a minute. He's absolutely right. He goes, can you deliver results in 30 minutes instead of an hour, Bedros? I said, sure. He says, now why don't you charge me the same, but keep the workouts to 30 minutes? I'm a busy person. I need that extra 30 minutes of my time, and you can get twice the clients in one day if you do 30-minute workouts. And I said, but shouldn't I charge less? He goes, no. People are buying an outcome from you. They're willing to pay a premium for it. So if you charge more, then another thing happens. You get higher end quality clients.
Yeah. And
the more people pay, the more they pay attention. And we found this in our coaching programs. When we had low-cost coaching programs, we had clients who would go, okay, that's decent advice. I'll think about doing it. Now that we charge $50,000 a year for the Empire Mastermind, people take the advice and they implement it, deploy it right away, because the more you pay attention.
Yeah.
The third thing that Jim Franco taught me was that take your product or service, in my case it was personal training, and I was selling anywhere from 5 to 10 sessions at a time, and then when your 10 sessions ran out, I'd have to resell you again. He said, take that program and sell it to me on a monthly basis. If I'm willing to pay $700 a month once, I'm willing to pay $700 a month on a recurring basis in exchange for the outcome that you're going to give me. And so all of a sudden I was able to build legs for my business, which meant I had predictable recurring revenue coming in that I can use to market and expand and grow to 5 locations like I did.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I want to jump off on one of the things you said there, when it's the perception of what somebody's getting. And so I run my workshops for $5,000 right now, and some people have said to me, you know what, if it was $500, I wouldn't do it. Because they'd be like, what am I going to get for $500?
Right.
And so they know that they're going to get that value. Plus, if I was only charging $500, I couldn't deliver these amazing lunches. We use these amazing boardrooms in the penthouse level of hotels. We deliver an experience, much like Fit Body Bootcamp delivers an experience, because you guys aren't in that race to the bottom against other gyms that can't provide a great experience, right? So how do you guys use that to deliver the amazing experience by having a premium price?
Well, it's funny you say that. I mean, you look at the other fitness franchises out there, like things like Planet Fitness, Snap Fitness, and they'll charge anywhere from $10 to $19 a month for membership. Now, at $10 to $19 a month, what additional values and experiences can you give your clients and customers? You really can't. You just have no room. You have no margins for that. We charge anywhere from $150 to $197 a month, right? Almost $200 a month to our clients, but we're able to give them a world-class experience. Not only do we give them an amazing environment to work out in, but the coaches are certified in nutrition. They're no longer personal trainers. They actually know how to coach you. They're like personal trainers, life coaches, and nutrition coaches all in one. Mm-hmm. We allow we have time to actually do their nutrition evaluation, their monthly fitness evals. We assess their injuries. A $19 gym, $10 gym a month simply has no room to do the evaluations, to have coaches who are that level of education and who are willing to pump out. And we give away shirts all day long because we want our clients to be walking, talking billboards.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, a $10 gym has no margin to do that. And so we've created a premium product for ourselves where we go, hey, you know what? You're not just getting access to a gym with Fit Body Bootcamp, you're getting access to a result. So we help our clients reframe what they're getting for their $200 a month, and it works every time.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I mean, even if the revenue was the same between you and Planet Fitness, it's not about the revenue, right? So let's go on a rant here about what revenue does versus what profit does.
Yeah, one of the best lessons I got was from my accountant, who's a really, really brilliant man. And in fact, he was able to build and sell his accounting company for $20 million in the late 80s, right? And so he said, listen, revenue feeds the ego, profits feed the family. And there's so much truth to that, because most people think about, hey, I'm generating $5, $6, $7, $8 million a year in revenue. And I always ask them, what do you take home? What do you give to your family? About $300,000 a year, because I've got so many moving parts. I got 5 leases. I got 5 sets of employees. What if you can open up 2 locations, create $5 million a year, and take home $1.5 million, right? So again, goes back to, I'm not impressed with the guy or gal who has 5 or 6 businesses and each one is putzing along, because on paper you might say, hey, you know what, Bedros, I got 5 businesses and collectively they're doing $7 million a year. But we later find out that you're barely taking home $100,000 a year home because none of them are really profitable.
And one of them is doing so bad that you're actually losing money.
Right. And we see this all the time as business coaches. So what we always tell them is, hey, trim the fat, take the one business that has the greatest potential and increase the revenue so that you can have greater profit margins, because profits feed the family.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I just did this with one of our Empire clients, Eric and Amy Ledeen. They have a very big nutrition coaching company and they're very successful, but they wanted to take to the next level. They wanted to raise the bar. And so we helped them develop a concierge level program. And I wrote the emails for them. They had a huge launch, 100K in profit, and it's almost all profit because they're doing that coaching and they're just delivering slightly more value and access to them. And it really is a great opportunity. So what I recommend to every business is look inside and look for what's called the low-hanging fruit. Where can you deliver a premium service to clients that are already paying you money, who are going to be your happiest customers, your raving fans, and look in and find that money that's just sitting around waiting for you to take it because you are adding more value into the business.
Yep.
Now, on the flip side, let's talk about why it's not good to do a race to the bottom and lower your prices. What kind of trouble can you get in there?
Well, you can get into a lot of trouble because at the end of the day, and I'll give you an example in the fitness space, right?
Yeah.
So you see two personal training gyms out there, and one guy says, hey, I charge $45 a session. The other guy says, well, I'm going to charge $40 a session. So the other guy goes to $35 a session. This guy goes to $30 a session. Ultimately, they're racing their prices to the bottom. But at the end of the day, life continues to get more expensive. Your lease is going to go up. Equipment lease is going to go up. Your marketing costs are going to go up. Payroll is always going to go up. Yet you're racing financially.
And your turnover is going to go
Your turnover is going to go up.
Because no one's going to want to work for a little bit of money.
You simply cannot afford to pay your staff what they deserve if you're constantly competing against the guy across the street by lowering your prices. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do to increase so much value, to create such a brand, to deliver such transformational results that I could charge 10 times what they're charging and people will still pay, because the race to the bottom is a lose-lose situation for everybody involved.
Absolutely. So what I want you to think about as you build your empire, as you structure your business, is thinking much like when I'm coaching my clients, I want them to build their business around their life. I want you to build your business around your price. So if you think, okay, what can I do to deliver the greatest value and charge the highest price? You don't have to have hundreds and hundreds of customers. Sometimes you only need to have a small number of customers paying a large amount of money so you have a really super profitable business. And sometimes that is the best way to go when building your empire. So Bedros, what do you want people to take away from today's show?
Well, I'll tell you what, let me dovetail into what you said right there. I talk about having 2,500 locations with Fit Body Bootcamp, right?
Yep.
But I don't want 2,500 franchisees. Think about what it would cost me. I would have to have twice the employees here,
Sure.
right, at our headquarters to manage 2,500 franchisees. Instead, I want 2,500 locations, but with 800 to 1,000 owners, which means each owner has to own 2.5 Fit Body Bootcamp locations. That means I can...
I'm above average.
You are.
Yeah,
You own
yes.
3. You are 3. Once again, in life, you are above average, sir. But in all seriousness, it's easier to get you to buy 3 locations than to get 3 individuals each to buy 1, because now we have to have more staff, which means if I have more staff, I've got more unpredictable humans working around me and with me. Number 2, I can't pay everybody a lot, so I have to kind of average out the payroll. And it's like corralling cats. I'll be able to deliver better service to 800 franchisees versus 2,500 franchisees.
Absolutely.
So to me, I will keep jacking up the price to build my lifestyle around the business that I want.
Absolutely. So what we want you to take away is to add value, to charge more, deliver more, so that you can build the business around your life and the business around your price. Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of the Empire Podcast. Now, the greatest compliment that you can give to us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating, and then share it online and social media with everyone that you know, and make sure to tag us because we love hearing from Empire listeners.
And if you own a business that's doing $500,000 or more in annual revenues, and you know it's got massive potential, and you'd like myself and Craig Ballantyne to help you scale it by 5x, 10x, and 20x in the shortest amount of time possible, then you might be a great candidate for the Empire Mastermind program that we have. To learn more about the Empire Mastermind program, go to bedroskeuilian.com/empire.